Hello. So, I've reached 300 subscribers, so it is time for a video about that. Well, it's a video showing you guys how to make dragons, but it is in honor of reaching that number of subscribers. So I'm just going to do a tutorial on how I draw dragons. It's a few different kind of dragons, and then there's also some stuff about color palettes in there, because I know that can be kind of tough. I will say, before I start, I don't know how to show people how to do stuff. So this is probably going to be a bad tutorial, but I tried. And of course, you can't get better at stuff if you don't practice. So consider this practice, and maybe I can make a better one later when I actually get better at drawing. So thank you so much for 300 subscribers. Here's a tutorial. Enjoy. So, like anything, it usually starts with a circle. Circles are friends the friends of artists. And since I'm just doing like a basic dragon base right now, I'm just gonna like not. This is no specific kind. I'll show you guys how to like do the other ones later. I forgot to say, I'm using the horns and no spike. This is my guide. This helps me see the head. The position of this determines the position of the entire head. And I can't do like front views or like a 3/4. I'm still trying to figure that out myself. So anyway, draw like this beak kind of thing, and then continue this line and curve it. Then we just draw the jaw. You can either add a little spike or make it smooth. Since this is a basic, I'm just gonna spike it. And then I add these. These are like eyebrow things. I don't know. Then we got the eye. That's just how I do a head. Kid, my style like makes them look bald if they don't have spikes. So you could add spikes. You can add like this part, which is like basically the top of the head, kind of. So anyway, once you've got the head, like very essential, you don't have to put all these details, of course. I'm just kind of doing this. We got this circle. This is the guide to make the neck, and the neck is basically just an S, a peculiarly odd. It's an odd S. And then to make sure like the neck looks good, you don't want to start here. You would want to start like where the circle was for your base. So then it looks nice. Like that. And then you just kind of make like starting here it would be another S. So you just curve this part up and make the back a little more flat than that. And then the tail. The tail can be in any position you want, really. That's a lie. You don't want to make the tail like. So I'm just gonna curl it because I'm just doing the like as basic as it gets right now. And then to guide for like where the legs go, I put the little wing shoulder thing like that. So then I know I can put the arm. What is this? Forearm? Anyway, start with that. Obviously, different leg positions. That was bad. You can make the legs straight. I'm gonna have them holding it up like that. You draw the other leg. See, that one's just like a straight line. And for the back, this one's like more like works like a normal arm, like on a person. For the back leg, first you've got the knee, and then have it bend again. Like that. So then you've got, ooh, get rid of that. So you got this. This is a very small, this is a baby dragon. Because normally I actually would make the body like a lot longer. Like that. But mistakes were made. So you can just continue the wing. I don't add like those little things most of the time. It depends. So then you can just do that. You can also add like a little wing membrane, like where it bends, because that can look pretty nice. I think this separates the spike part and the underbelly. And then for talons, I draw them real simple. Just a little shoop, shoop. Yes, they're little shoops. Like a shop. Except it's a shoop. And then for the back ones, I make them a little bit longer. Like that. And voila. A dragon. A very teeny dragon. But that's okay. And then, obviously, to make different kinds, I'm just going to draw a couple of heads real quick. So, depending on like what you always want to use reference for what you're doing to know what kind of like horn shape. So like you can do straight horns, curly horns. If the kind of dragon drawing doesn't have a nose spike, you can just erase it. I just use it as a guide. So once you got the head, oh my goodness, that jaw. Whatever. So obviously, just the horns alone can make it different. You can make different head shapes. Like this one's got a more like curve. So you can have it curve a lot, have it curve a little, and then you could add fins. Or you could just make it have really long spikes, or you could add webbing between it. Make it nice and fancy. If it's got webbings, you can like give it gills if you want. Little light scales, because this is looking like a ceiling to me. Of course, you can always get creative with expressions and whatnot. Because, like, you can do angry. You can do sad. We can do neutral. So you can always get, like, creative. But if you, like, do this, and it's like a sad dragon, you could always, like, give it a smile. And it's like, oh my goodness, I'm just shy. Like, you can get creative. And maybe if it is sad, you could add, like, multiple little, like, reflection things. So that's the basics on that. And Toothless is a lot different with the head. Not so much, like, not as much the body, though. So for his head, I just do, like, that kind of shape. And put a line there. And that's, like, the, like, I don't know, ridge or whatever. His spikes. Like, the spikes go there. You can draw his ears. Not sure if these are actually ears. His little horns. And then little nubs. I draw his eyes a lot different too. So instead of like that, unless he's like angry or whatever, they're like that. And I don't actually give him a mouth, cause don't. It's the same thing, just the S. And the tail. Obviously, I have a really cartoony style. And then he's got his little tail fin. Of course, if it's Toothless, this just wouldn't be here. He's got his wings. And his feet. Sitting feet. That looks really bad. I don't actually know how to draw that. They're always standing up. What is it like? Like that. He's also got these little things. Toothless does have like that kind of wing, so actually, ooh, that was terrible. I actually would add like these little. I just do them as lines though. I don't make actual like that because it's just simpler. That's how I draw Toothless. You can give him a little tongue. Adorable. Speaking of that tongue thing, if anyone is curious on how I draw the little like derpiness, it's just a circle, add horns, ear, nose spike if you want, eyeballs. Like the little derpiness. That's how I draw that. Very simple. Very easy. Very fun. And for dragon puppet stuff, to design them, I don't normally like do the circle thing. I'll just do wop, bop, whatever kind of horn you want. It could be straight, curly, like a ram horn if you wanted. And then I draw their mouths different. I like give them like that, fangs. I also give them way bigger ears. So the way I draw dragon puppets is a lot different. And like with dragon puppets, you can do whatever you want. They could have 3 eyes. That looks really bad. Let me redo that. Take 2. They could have 3 eyes. You just do whatever you want with the dragon puppet because who cares? You give them a sail like that. There you go. Free dragon puppet idea. So yeah, that's how I draw dragons. But with drawing dragons also comes with a color palette. So for color palettes, it can be pretty hard to think of one. You could do basics, of just picking colors that are close, like on the spectrum, or warm color, cold colors. So here's warm colors. Here are some cold colors. But then there's colors that just go together, like red and green, pink and green, orange and teal go together pretty nice. And then colors from like just like stuff in real life, like a sunset, that can look really nice too. Like I have a character, I haven't drawn them, but I do have this picture from in the game that I haven't played in weeks. And then you could, so like fall leaves. I have a leaf and it's green and orange. It looks pretty nice together. You could do that color and give me 1 second. That color. It looks pretty good together. Green and purple also look really good together. Green goes with a lot of stuff. Maybe not that kind of green. That lime green goes with a lot, actually. You could do red and yellow, blue and yellow. So yeah, you could base the color palette on fish, sunsets, trees, animals. There's so many stuff that you can get a good color palette from. Cause like brown and pink, cherry tree goes really nice together. But then there's colors that just like clash. So let's say you did red and let me see here. What doesn't go with red? I wouldn't say those. I think those clash. Or like just sometimes it clashes and it doesn't look good. So make sure you have a good color palette when you're coloring them in. Of course, this is just a sketch, so obviously you'd want to add a layer and go over this to make it look nice. I'm not trying right now, but that's my tutorial on how to draw dragons. Was it helpful? Probably not, but that's how I do it. So yes, there you go. That's all I got. I'm gonna stop recording now and just do the outro now because yeah. And that's all I have for this video. I really appreciate reaching, I almost said 300 subscribers. And I can't wait to see what happens in the future. Because maybe, I don't know. I don't even know how I'm starting this. Thank you for watching. I hope it was the slightest bit helpful for somebody. And so yeah, if you enjoyed and you're new, maybe consider subscribing. I don't have a reason why. I'm just asking, like, if you want to, go ahead. I have no reason. Goodbye.